Sahno bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shuklam Varadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vignopashantaye. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. All of us chant Pratasmarami together. All of you know it.
Pratasmarami Hruti Samspuradatmatattvam Satchit Sukham Paramaham Jagatim Turiyam Yasvapnajagara Sushuptamavaiti Nityam Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham Nacha Sangaha.
I invoke the grace of the Lord and Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda or Pujya Swami Brahmanandi and the entire Guru Parampara. And pranams to all of you, Vani, Vasu, for having organized this, and for all of you who have joined. Hari Om, pranams to all of you. We have been discussing Atma Bodha, one of the most powerful Pekarna Granthas of Acharya Shankara. This is nothing, new concepts are not brought here. The same concepts which are in our Upanishads, they are brought here with an example, with a simile. We have completed up to 50. The last one that we discussed was Atma Rama. He said, we said, Atma Rama Virajate. Here, Atma and Rama are not different. We revel in that Supreme. And now onwards, we are from 51 onwards, we are going to discuss certain specific items. Here you will find a similarity of what we have seen in the second chapter of Gita, where Sthita Prajna's indicators were asked on behalf of all of us by Arjuna. And Lord Krishna indicated the Lakshanas of the Sthita Prajna. A similar concept of a Jivan Mukta, Sthita Prajna, Sthita Dihi is being mentioned. So as we go through and discuss this, my suggestion is let us start contemplating on those concepts, number one. And then we also try to get that as a part of sadhana, what we have to do. There are two purposes. We'll see the indicators of that Jivan Mukta and also what sadhanas we have to do. We will start with verse 51, read and follow. Please follow in chorus.
Sir, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜರ್ಕೋತೀರಾ? ಲಲಿತಾ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅವರು ಅರ್ಧ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
Okay, it's okay now.
Little more. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Bahya nitya sukhasaktim.
Please repeat.
Bahya nitya sukhasaktim hitvatma sukha nirvrataha gatastadipavat swastaha Swantareva prakashate.
Let us chant in chorus.
Bahya nitya sukhasaktim hitvatma sukha nirvrataha gatastadipavat swastaha swantareva prakashate.
I'm trying to show the meaning also. There are two things that we have to do. Number one, Bahya Anitya Sukha Asaktim Hitva. Number one. This means we get Sukha from things outside, but that is Anityam. And we have to see what? Atma Sukha Nivruttaha. Turn inside and try to see the happiness inside, the bliss inside. A simile is given of what? Gatastha Deepavat Swastaha. So Antareva Prakashate. Let us see the number one. I think all of us here or in any part of the world, people want two things: peace and happiness. I don't think anybody doesn't want peace and happiness. What a fantastic verse 51 it is. This is trying to give us what all people, irrespective of the caste, creed, and religion and nationality, what everybody wants is being given here. How are we to get it? And how a Jivan Mukta has that? Who has that? A Jivan Mukta. And what we have to do? We become Jivan Mukta and we get that. We get number one, absolute total peace, unlimited bliss we are going to get. But an example is given here because suppose you, a simile that is being given here is Gatastha Deepavat. We will see two things. Number one, when there is a lamp outside, it illumines the objects outside. The objects can be seen with that lamp from outside carefully. And it is a reflected light. It illumines various objects and the intensity, etc. depends on the objects. But suppose there is a jar and you have the light inside. This light illumines from inside. And this is the difference. When he is mentioning about here, inside in Vedanta, we would have to understand it as inside in Vedanta is subtlety. We have seen when we were discussing the Panchakoshas, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya Koshas. Slowly they are inside. We say the innermost is Vijnana, the outermost is Annamaya. Inside means the innermost is the most subtle, number one. And second, the subtler is known to be more pervasive, carefully. Number two. Number three, the subtler controls the grosser. We have seen when we were discussing. Anandamaya pervades both Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya and Annamaya. It pervades, it controls, and that is the cause. Inside means that, the innermost. So if it is in this context we have to understand this particular verse, we will go back to this verse. Now what does it say? Here outside is this, inside is this. Bahya anitya sukham. Outside one is all of us want peace, all of us want total bliss. But what we get, and all of us are doing all the things in this world ultimately to become peaceful, to become happy. But we know very well, none of the things in the outside world can give me peace. No person, carefully, no thing can give me. Even if you are made the president of not only America, India, the whole world, no. You become the richest person. All the time we are trying to get things. You would like to be with people. And this acquisition, etc., we are doing by acquiring things. We think we are going to be happy. And this naked truth is all of us know our happiness, the peace is not dependent on anything, anywhere, anybody outside. In fact, it is the other way. The persons with the highest power, persons with maximum money, they are the one whose peace is most disturbed and most unhappy. Therefore, number one, there is a serious limitation to the happiness. It is not very, very high. Number two, it will come and go. Today you are the Prime Minister, after some time you are gone. You are the President of Ukraine. And now, few days you are out. Number one, these power, position, status, money, etc. is temporary. Number one, anitya. And that does not give. But whereas we want what? Infinite bliss, everlasting bliss. So what we have to do? This is an indicator of a Jivan Mukta. What that is says? Anitya sukha asaktim hitva. Of what? Outside. We have to avoid, relinquish hitva. I am saying word to word. Hitva is relinquish all the attachments to the things outside because they don't give me happiness. And then we saw inside what? What have we to do? Atma sukha nivruta. Inside, we have got, yes, nivrutaha is within me. Atma sukham is inside. Like the lamp. So, we are trying to find out the happiness outside in things and people. Number one, we don't get. It is not very high. It is fleeting, temporary. So, a Jivan Mukta, why is he in that state of supreme peace and bliss? Because he has relinquished that things outside. Because it does not depend on anything at all. Outside things does not give. So, now what we have to do? We have to go inside, go through the Panchakoshas, inside, and I must find the source of infinite Akhanda Ananda is inside me. I don't need anybody or anything for my bliss. I have to only turn my direction. It is said, Nivrit. Inside me is there, and like the light, so antaha eva prakashate, this infinite bliss is inside me, and this bliss is what I have to get, and this we don't depend on anybody. So our number one implementation is we will not try to, but most of the time what are we doing? Trying to get things, that is only we are doing it, but that is where we have lost our track. And we will start going inside. That is why all the scriptures of the world says the source of happiness is inside me. And the moment I realize who I am, find out, and it does not require any effort at all. I have to only find out who am I. I am not the upadhis. When I understand who am I, the moment I go inside and try to realize, I will have infinite bliss. What a great. So maybe we start practicing it, enjoy infinite bliss. We'll take verse 52, read and follow.
Upadhistopi tat dharmaihi. Upadhistopi tat dharmaihi. Alipto vyomavan munihi. Alipto vyonavan munihi. Sarvavinmudavatishtet. Sarvavinmudavatishtet. Asakto vayuvaccharet. Asakto vayuvaccharet. Together. Upadhistopi tad dharmaihi. Alipto vyomavan munihi. Sarvavinmudavatishtet. Asakto vayuvaccharet.
I do not know you will have observed. There are three things which are mentioned here. Number one, upadhistaha api. Again, I repeat, these are the indicators of a man of perfection, a Jivan Muktaha. Now, what he is done? Jivan Mukta is one who has realized, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am the Atman. He has got the experience, Aham Brahmasmi, while he is in the body. This is called Jivan Mukta. He has realized it already, that I am. Yeah. But still, we know, we have discussed earlier, till his prarabdha karma is exhausted, he will continue to be in that body. He is continuing to be in the body. When he is continuing to be body, but he continues, but what is his state? He is a Jivan Mukta. Upadistha Abhi, then till after Jivan Mukta will continue to be associated with the conditionings, yes, and till the prarabdha karmas are exhausted. When the prarabdhas are exhausted, when the body leaves, he will have a videha mukti. But a condition, when he is in a state of bliss, a jivan mukta, upadistha abhi, even though he is there, what is his state? Tad dharmaihi aliptaha. Dharmaihi, the attributes. Attributes of all the upadis, he is not tainted. And three indicators are given. Upadisthahapi, Yomavat, please see, Yomavat, Modavat, and Vayuvat. Three. I want you to observe. His status will be Yomavat, Modavat, Vayuvat. Means what? Yomavat, he will be, like space. What? Aliptaha, number one. He is a munihi, a contemplated one. Manana Shilanavat munihi. And then, second one is Muda. Muda, you see this thing? Sarvavet, but he will behave like Mudavat. He is the one, after all, man, he is a realized soul, Jivan Mukta. He has realized that. But still, for an outside world, he behaves like a fool. Mudavat. And he will be like a Vayuvat, like the wind, Tishtati. But Asakta. So three things are given. Asaktaha, Mudaha, Vayuvat Asaktaha, Mudavat Tishtati, Vyomavat Aliptaha. Vyomavat Aliptaha. That means, this I think is not difficult to understand the concepts. Number one, he is the one, a state of the mind. What is Vyoma? Vyoma doesn't get affected by anything. The Akasha, the space, does not get affected. He is still in Upadhi, but like Vyomavat, he is Aliptaha, not nothing will happen. And he is all-knower, and he appears, Jivan Mukta will be untainted, even though he is in the in that state appears. And Vayuvat, he doesn't get tainted like Vayuvat. Please see that. Three things: Vyomavat, Modavat, Vayuvat. Like Vyoma, the space, he is Aliptaha. And then, like Muda, he appears, the other thinks he is a fool, but he is not. He is Sarvavit. He knows everything. And Asaktaha Vayuvat. Whatever happens to the wind, some things are happening, but it will be moving around without any attachment. So this is the state of a Jivan Muktaha, and this is the state that all of us should be in. Right now, let us see whether we can practice non-attachment. Non-attachment to things, people. Number one. I have previously shared, but it is nothing wrong. In Vedanta, there is no repetition. I knew a person when I was working in the company, a man who had lot of money from Germany. He had started a group of industries, and in 1984, he had purchased those days a new, directly got from Germany, a left-hand drive Benz car from Germany. Those days, 34 lakhs. Not 34 lakhs of 2022. 38 years back, you can imagine. It was a brand new foreign assembled Benz dual left-hand drive car. Once I was, he was wanting to drop me. we were traveling from Pinya to my house in JP Nagar. It's a left-hand drive car, brand new car. And he was driving, I was sitting on his right. Hopefully you get it right now. When he's going, suddenly there was one pothole. He felt miserable. Bangalore roads, new Benz car. He felt bad. And after some time, there was a sudden hump with no mark. When it went there, he again became miserable. Third time, suddenly, if you know in driving in Bangalore, you can drive anywhere in the world. But suddenly from nowhere, from some car, an auto came. Suddenly he had to brake. At that time again, he became miserable. My God, 34 lakhs. And he was unhappy when it went on the, pothole, on the hump, when he had to brake. I was seeing him becoming miserable and unhappy. I said, hey, can I drive this car for some time? He has not given it to anybody. But I had known him by that time around 20 years almost. Then he said, okay, Seshadri, I will give you only for 10 minutes. 4 kilometers. That's all. I said, okay, let me at least for 10 minutes I will do maja. I took the key, I started, and he stood on my right. The owner, whose car was that, he was on my right. I am now driving. When I was driving, suddenly when it went in a pothole, I felt very happy. Zing. And when you are going on, suddenly when there was a hump, again I was happy. What a beautiful, I still remember what happened with that hump. And when suddenly one vehicle came, when I applied brakes, believe me, my dear friends, it was such a bliss, like a cradle. I got that feeling. I enjoyed the pothole. I enjoyed the hump. I enjoyed braking. But why was he suffering? My car. You understand? Attachment made him miserable. For me, it is his car. Temporarily, he has given it to me. I will have to give the key back because I am not attached to the car. I enjoyed pothole. I enjoyed hump. I enjoyed braking. He suffered because of attachment to the car. I hope you understand. It is this attachment which is the problem for our misery. I know those of you who have some village background, you know the jackfruit, when you want to remove, normally people apply oil. And then, so that, that won't stigma, you won't get that. It won't get attached. The way you pluck the jackfruit, but you apply oil. When you apply oil, it won't stick. So friends, it is that we have to do. That means you have to have that oil attached. This applies to both, I repeat, to things and people. Upadhistaha api taddharmaihi adiptaha. Be in this, because yes, you are a Jivan Mukta. You continue to be in the body. While you are continuing to be in the body, Tat dharmaihi means the attributes of the body, attributes of things are not to make you become miserable because you are playing. That is how, because that is how we have to have. Be in the world. Be in your house. Have your car. All the things. But upadhistaha bi taddharmaihi aliktaha. And that way, not only get detached from your own body. What we have to do in this world? Then you will say, oh Lord, you have given me things to enjoy. It is your own. All the things belongs to you. Temporarily, I am a custodian. Whenever you, is it not happening? All your power, position, status, things, any moment it may go away. And don't become miserable. Talk to the Lord. All they are not mine. Namama. All this belong to you. I am a temporary custodian. Don't get attached to things. And also the people. Don't get attached to your wife or husband also. So today after the class, when you go home with, apply oil to your body and go to your wife or husband. Like that. No, don't do physical. a mental oil. Means mental, yeah, repeat, don't say he told me, I am not good, I will leave my house and I leave my people and go. Be there with the same intolerable wife and children and all those officers, all people and things, be there. But learn this technique of non-attachment. Jivan Mukta. See this verse again. Upadhistapai taddharmaihi ariktaha. Be like that. In Acharya Shankara says, a Jivan Mukta, he says, Balavat, Unmadavat, Pishachavat. He behaves like a child, childlike, no hatred. A real Jivan Mukta, so all of you, like a child be there. Like a madman, don't be, why think of others, what way they will think. Don't bother, you are all like that. The others may be ashamed of a madman, but the madman is not. Like that, don't be ashamed. And Unmadavat, Pishachavat, a devil. Everybody is afraid, but the devil is not afraid. So be like that. Balavat, Unmadavat, Pishachavat. So here it says Vyomavat, Modavat, Vayavat. And the key point is Upadhistapa Abhi Taddharmaihi Aritaha. Please practice this today onwards, and you are already practicing it. Don't leave your position. Don't get attached to your own upadhi, your own body, your own mind. You say, it is my body, my mind, my intellect. Don't get yourself attached, because I am the Atman. You have the body, you have the experience of Jivan Mukta. You are not, because Prarabdha Karma is there, you are still there. But while you are in this state, your Jivan Mukta, body is present, but still be unnatural. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. And things connected with my body are not things. Things connected with my mind, things and people are not of me, but of Upadhis. Upadhistaha api taddharmaihi ariktaha. Please practice. Very, very important. Let's go to verse number 53.
Upadhi vilayad Vishnu, Upadhi vilayad Vishnu, Nirvishesham Vishen Munihi, Nirvishesham Vishen Munihi, Jale Jalam Vyadyomni, Jale Jalam Vyadyomni, Tejas Tejasivayata, Tejas Tejasivayata. Together. Upadhi vilayat Vishnu, Nirvishesham Vishen Munihi, Jale Jalam Vyadyomni, Tejas Tejasivayata.
Yes, we'll go to the next stage. You are a Jivan Mukta, assume. And when you depart from this world, the death occurs, Upadhi vilayat. Then you will be in that state. You will be in that state. All your things are merged. The illustration, will show the illustration and then come back to this verse again. Three things are given. Jale Jalam. Water in a river merges into the ocean. Jale Jalam. Or anywhere. You can try. And you will see one more. The space in the pot merges in carefully. Pot space merges into the outer space. And the third indication that is given here is Tejas. The light merges into the light of the room outside. This merger is very, very natural. And that's how we must merge ourselves in. Tere Jalam, Vyat Vyomni, Tejasi, Tejaha. You can you find out after merger into that Tejas, light into that, right? Can you say this space? No. Or can you say about this space? What was the room space when that Upadhi is broken? Upadhi is broken, the part is broken. That space is merged. after the breakage of the upadhi, can you identify separately the space? Think. And the water also. So it is in this context, this is how we must have. Now, what do we see? We go back to this word. We have now understood, like the water gets back into the water we have seen, space, part space into the outer space, the light into the other light. Just as these go, then what will happen? Yes. What will happen when a person dies? Let us see. We have what are called the three bodies: Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. The gross body, the subtle body, and the causal body. Carefully. However, when a person dies, if he is a man, ignorant, ajnani means what? He might be the topmost person, the most qualified person with a number of PhDs in his field. He might be materialistically highly knowledgeable. But the person who thinks, I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, he is called an ajnani, though he has got the highest of material jnana. Hopefully you are getting it. But that person, the top, or maybe a person who has got a Nobel Prize, the highest, and all that is there. But a person who thinks that he is the body, I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, such a person, when he dies, what will happen? These grass, the Panchabhutas, they go back to the Panchabhutas. Bhumihi, Apaha, Anaraha, Vayu, come. The five. When a person dies, the earth part of the body goes to the earth, and the water inside us will merge into water. Fire inside us, we become cold, it merges into the fire. And Vayu, the air inside, will merge into the air outside. And I would have occupied some space that merges. That is happening for an ajnani. And what happens to his Sukshma and the Karana Sharira? For some time, it will be in a Swarga or a Naraka, the heaven or the hell. And then, after exhausting some of them, after some time, he gets back into another grass body. He has to be born again. An ajnani. The SIM ajnani means SIM card is removed. It is inserted into another handset. That is all. But in Swarga, what is happening is, there, hell and heaven, there is no functioning of the grass body, but there is the functioning of the Karana Sukshma Sharira. And there is no change in Karana Sharira, the avidya or vasanas is there. You are born with all that intact. But when a jnani means one who is realized, Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktaha Panchakoshatitaha Aham Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma, person who has realized that, what happens for him? No. The gross body, I agree, goes to the five elements. The subtle body merges into the subtle elements, Sukshma Sharira. And there are vasanas are already exhausted. Carefully. Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharira. Karana Sharira exhausted. All the vasanas are gone. Avidya is gone. Avidya in the Vesti. And Sukshma Shariras, it merges into the Sukshma Tanmatras. Sukshma Tanmatras merge into the Sukshma in the earth. So then there is nothing more. There is no more birth. So this is mentioned here. Read that verse again. Once again, let us see. Upadi
Vilayat Vishnu Nirvishesham Vishen Munihi Jale Jalam Vyadyomi Tejas Tejasivayata.
Sometimes start for a minute. Go on doing the contemplation, please. We don't have no need to have a separate assume that Virayat Vishnu. What is happening is Nirvishesham. You have exhausted your vasanas. Vasanas are totally gone. And you are already realized, think. Start thinking. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect. I am the Atman. Now what is happening is, I am still, because of the prarabdha karma, I am still continuing in the body. Okay, now let us assume that you are in that state. You are a Jivan Muktaha. And all the vasanas are exhausted. You are continuing because in the gross body because of your prarabdha karmas. Now a time has come when all those prarabdha karmas are exhausted. There is no agami, there is no sanchita. Now all this is gone. Then what happens? You are merged into your own consciousness. And at that moment, start thinking. All your grass bodies, the grass tanmatras have gone to the grass world. And the Sukshma Sharira have merged with the Sukshma Prapancha. Sthula Sharira into Sthula Prapancha. Sukshma Sharira into the Sukshma Prapancha. There are no more Karana Shariras. Vidya and Maya. So you are in that state. There is no rebirth for you. You will be in that state of supreme bliss. What an experience. Think. This is what we have to attain. We are born with this. Our birthright is to be Jivan Mukta. You can attain Mukti only when you are alive. This cannot happen after you leave the body. Let us practice this. I wish you all the best. Continue.
Yellabhana paro labho, yellabhana paro labho, yetsukana param sukam, yetsukana param sukam, yajnanatna param jnanam, yajnanatna param jnanam, tad brahmetyavadaraye. Tad brahmetyavadaraye.
Repeat
Together. Yellabhana paro labho, yetsukana param sukam, yajnanana param jnanam, tad brahmetyavadaraye.
The key word here is, I am showing you the meaning. Tat Brahma iti avadarayet. It is an implementation plan for us. This is what we have to do. Tat Brahma iti avadarayet. Realize that. Tat only. To be Brahman. And idam, adam, same. I am not the body, mind, intellect. I am the Atman. The same Brahman getting reflected in the micro is Jivatma. The same getting reflected in the macro is the Paramatma. The reflecting media are different. But when I transcend these reflecting media, what remains is same Aham Brahmasmi. And that, when you attain, and it's not the question of becoming that, my dear friends. Don't say you become Brahman. It is wrong. Becoming is something that you are not. You are that. Careful. Nobody need become Brahman. All of us are. But it is a question of whether I realize it or not. This, he says, realize that Brahman. Tat Brahma iti avadarayet. Oh, then what are the effects? See, Tat Brahma iti avadarayet. Number one, see, and that Brahman that you have got, and that bliss that you have get, there is no other sukha at all. you are going to wait that when you attain that, there is no blessedness. There is, after gaining that knowledge, there is nothing more to be gained. There is not, having attained Brahman, having realized Aham Brahmasmi, there is nothing more for me to attain. There is no other blessing. And having known which, there is nothing more to be known. See, we know different fields of science: physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, and engineering, medicine, economics, political science, social science. So many things are there. It is endless. Even if you know the highest in your particular field, even in that field there is something. But there is one thing, after knowing which, there is nothing more to be known. This is something, yadlavat na paro labha. When you have that prapti, there is nothing more to be gained. Number one. And then, yet sukham na aparam sukham. This sukha that you get, what you get from the materialistic is like, I have repeatedly suggested, it is like a small candle. You know, a small candle. And how much light it will come? Some. And suppose you have got number of candles. Let us say one electric lamp. How much of candles? Now suppose you want like a street lamp. How many candles? Big street. Now imagine a sun. How much of candles? Can you compare? And by 1 crores, Koti Surya Sama Prabha, that compared to a sponge. And all the best of the things that we are going to get happiness is that a small tail, small. But having gained that, Koti Surya Samaprabha, compared to the light, like that, the amount of independent happiness. Now, all the happiness that we get in the materialistic world on materials and people is dependent, and for a short period, very less. Do you want that small, very limited, for a small time, and it is there only when you are there, gone, you are gone? No. But we want that independent happiness, infinite happiness. All the happiness that you get from all the material things is called the Koshananda. What we are going to get is here, Akhanda Ananda. And next, knowledge. You are never, you can never know any knowledge in any one field. Even if you spend generations, you can't know. But having got this spiritual knowledge, having got experienced this knowledge, there is nothing more to be known. Your knowledge is fine. So this is the fact, knowing which carefully. We are trying to understand what is that Supreme Brahman. That Brahman is that, again, we'll see, go back to that verse again. See, we'll read it again. Et labhat na aparam labham. Et sukhat na param sukam. Et jnanat. That know that. That Brahman is that, yes, is to be realized within me. Having realized, there is nothing more accomplishments at the body, mind, intellect, or any other level. There is nothing more to be done. So that is the highest. No other blessedness, nothing to be attained, no knowledge to be got. And that is Brahman. Brahman is that. Realizing which, you get this. So this is an indicator given of what is Brahman. Brahman cannot be explained. An indicator given, and having realized, these are the effects. So let us, I think all of us want this. Yes. So let us pursue like that. We'll take to verse 55.
यद्दृष्ट्वा नापरं दृश्यम् यद्दृष्ट्वा नापरं दृश्यम् यद्भूत्वा न पुनर्भवः यद्भूत्वा न पुनर्भवः यज्ञात्वा नापरं ज्ञेयम् यज्ञात्वा नापरं ज्ञेयम् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारये तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारये यद्दृष्ट्वा दृश्यम् यद्भूत्वा न पुनर्भवः यज्ञात्वा नापरं ज्ञेयम् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारये.
We are trying to realize that Tat Brahma. What is that Brahman? He says, realize that Brahman, realize. Tat Brahma iti avadharayet. Realize that to be Brahman. This is an indicator given for us to achieve this. I repeat, I don't need to become Brahman. Becoming something is what I am not. I have to realize Aham Brahmasmi. And what is that Brahman? Having realized that, there is nothing more to be seen. Drishtva na param. Having seen, there is nothing more to be seen. And you are not going to be born again. When I realize Aham Brahmasmi, there is no birth. After all, what we are struggling in this world, all of us are becoming miserable. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janini, jadere shayanam, iha samsare, bahutustare, krupaya vare, pahi murare. We don't want to be born. I don't want to be born. I think none of you want it. But it is not easy. You will be born as long as you are in identity with your upadhis, Sthula Sukshma Kara, Sthula Upadhis. The only way that, carefully, those of us who don't want Punarjanma, this is that. You are not going to be born again. Now we are intellectually understanding. I am talking, you are listening, and okay. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. But this intellectual understanding should become my own experience. Having realized, it says, repeat that, it is not reading a book, understand the definition of Brahman. Brahman is that state when I realize Aham Brahmasmi. There is nothing more to be seen. And I am not to be born again. And having known this, there is nothing. That which makes us to get all knowledge is that consciousness. Carefully. All the knowledge of this world of objects, world of emotions, world of thoughts and ideas, all of them are illumined by the consciousness in me. Without which these upadhis cannot experience, cannot know through the senses, through the mind, through the intellect. I'm going to experience that. But that which is giving light has got nothing. Having known that, there is nothing more to be known. So what we have to do, sit in your meditation. I am only giving you a minute. Realize that I am Aham Brahmasmi. I repeat, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. They are my upadhis. Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Atiriktaha. Panchakosha Aditaha. Avastatraya Sakshihi. I am the witness to the three states. I am different from the three bodies. I am beyond the five koshas. I am that Brahman. Then you are now intellectually understanding. Continue to keep your eyes closed. Realize that you are that Brahman. And when you realize, be sure there is nothing more for you to experience anything outside. And they are a Jivan Mukta, a realized soul. And there is an assurance that you will not be born again. Only for those people who are identity with the upadhi is the problem. When my identity is that, so that Brahman is that which makes you get all these experiences. Next, we'll take the next one, 56.
तिर्यगूर्ध्वमदः पूर्णम् तिर्यगूर्ध्वमदः पूर्णम् सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयम् सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयम् अनन्तं नित्यमेकं यत् अनन्तं नित्यमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् तिर्यगूर्ध्वमदः पूर्णम् सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयम् अनन्तं नित्यमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत्.
This again, we have to understand what is that Brahman and realize that. This verse is giving us some lead for meditation. Meditation we have discussed many times. There is one pre-jnana meditation. Without before getting knowledge, my mind should become calm and become fit to receive input. That is pre-jnana. And after getting that jnana, my mind is already, I have purified my all my mind by karma jnana bhakti yoga, and I have already got the knowledge like this in this verse 56. And pre-jnana meditation is over. I got this jnana 56, and now go deeper and try to contemplate and realize that. That is the contemplation that you have to do now. He says what? What is that? I am going to realize aham brahmasmi. That Brahman is Tiryak Udvam Adaha Purnam. Did you see that? This Brahman is everywhere. Top, bottom, right, left, there is no direction at all. You would have seen those who do the Sandhya Karmas, they would do it, and the Sandhya Karmas, all those diks they say, all the diks they say you are that, and they will say Urdhva, Adhara, Prachedishe Namaha, Dakshinadishe Namaha, Pradishe Namaha, Pradishe Namaha, Urdhvaya Namaha, Adharaya Namaha, Antarikshaya Namaha, Bhumya Namaha. That is why I have repeatedly suggested you are a male or a female. If you just practice the Sandhya technique with all faith, you will see. What are you going to see? That Supreme Brahman everywhere. Only not on this, the entire top, bottom, everywhere. In fact, in Narayana Sukta, he says, Antar Bahishya Tat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Stitaha. All is that. And what is its state? Sat Chit Anand. It is not only Sat. It is not only Chit. It is Ananda. We have already discussed what is the Satchidananda. That Supreme Brahman is Satchidananda. We have discussed what is Sat, what is Chit, what is Ananda. It is Advayam, non-dual. And Anantam, infinite. Nityam, eternal. And that is only one, Ekam. These are the indicators of that Supreme Brahman. And we have to sit in the seat of meditation, take any one of them. Brahman, sit, close your eyes and start seeing what all, Tiryak from all sides, Urdhvam, the top, Adaha, bottom, everywhere is there. And what is that? Sat, Chit, Ananda. It is Advayam. Advayam, non-dual, there is only one. It is infinite, Anandam. This is Brahman, indicator of Brahman. It can't be defined. It is Nityam, was, is, and will be. It is one and only there. There is, in fact, there is only one. Brahma eva satyam. That's sarvam mithya. One and only thing is that. The others are apparent reality. Carefully. Now start going deeper. That is that supreme. We'll take the last one. With that, we'll be closing today.
अतद्व्यावृत्तिरूपेण अतद्व्यावृत्तिरूपेण वेदान्तैर्लक्ष्यते द्वयम् वेदान्तैर्लक्ष्यते द्वयम् अखण्डानन्दमेकं यत् अखण्डानन्दमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत्
Repeat.
तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत् अतद्व्यावृत्तिरूपेण वेदान्तैर्लक्ष्यते द्वयम् अखण्डानन्दमेकं यत् तद्ब्रह्मेत्यवधारयेत्
Tat Brahma iti avadara. You'll see all these verses same. Please realize that Brahman. And what are the indicators? Realize that to be Brahman, which is what? This is a technique called Atma Avrutti Rupena. The technique called 90-90-90. We'll realize that most of the things that is perceived by our senses, felt by my mind, thought by my intellect, we know by Vedanta, they are indicators that they are not Brahman. In normal science, we say, seeing is believing, hear is believing. That means there it is believed that what is perceivable by my eyes, what I can hear, that alone is true. But Vedanta says, all that is perceived, all that is felt, all that you can thought of is not Brahman. This is the technique you have to adopt. Tonight again you sit in the meditation. Now realize this. What? Adadya vrutti rupena Vedantaihi Lakshyate indicated. All those which is not indicated by Vedanta. And what is Advayam and what cannot be divided? Akhanda, Ananda, Ekam. So you can take any one of them. Number one, basic things we'll have to see is what is available to our senses. What can be felt by my mind. What can be thought of is not Brahman. That is easy. This is a process called na iti, neti. All that is not Brahman. So having known that, and these are indicated, and what does Vedanta indicate Brahman? We have to know. We know what it is not. What is that which is non-dual and which cannot be divided. Nothing can divide this. Think. And absolute Ananda. That you realize. So you can even close for a minute. And with this, we'll be closing just a minute. Close your eyes and start experiencing verse 57. What does verse 57 says? Close your eyes and start. Avrutti rupena. By the process. Now start contemplating. All that is can be felt, perceived by my senses, felt by my mind, thought by my intellect, is not true. Not true. Opposite to the materialistic senses. And the scriptures in which we have absolute total belief have Shraddha. Guru Vedanta Vakyadisu Vishwasaha Shraddha. Let us have absolute total faith in our scriptures, the Vedanta. And what does it say? That it is indicated. It cannot define. Vedantaihi lakshyate. Our scriptures are indicating what? That non-dual. Akhanda, indivisible, Ananda, bliss. That one and alone. There is no Jivatma, Paramatma, Veda. Only one. There is no Jivatma, Paramatma. When there is only one, where is Jivatma, Paramatma, Veda? And that is indicated by our scriptures. Now go deeper into your meditation. Start realizing that Aham Brahmasmi. Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Oh, thank you very much. Over to you, Vasu.